What is good, everyone? Welcome to the show. Hopefully you are surviving this market crash. It has not been pleasant, to say the least. I think everybody's feeling it around the board because everything is crashing, right? We had gold, silver. I'm seeing a lot of channels talk about Black Monday and how today is going to be a really bad day for the stock market. I actually haven't looked into the S&P 500 today. Let's go take a look. I'm not streaming. It's up. It's up. So is Black Monday not happening? But we're going to dive into everything today. The show, what we're talking about is the market crash, crypto Twitter drama, what's happening with CZ and some other stuff. We're going to talk about Memecoin metas. We got a lot of AI stuff going on and a little bit of NFT stuff, some token launches and so on. Hopefully you enjoy it. Let me check here. Power out again. No, we're live. We're live. We got Wen. Welcome to the show. Bear market is here, lads. No, well, maybe we'll take a look. Let us jump. Let me get my screen. Not forget. So here we go. Let me mute my Discord notifications. I'm getting spammed. Market's down. Market is down bad. I mean, we're having a little bounce this morning, which is nice. But overall, we are down very bad. Let me open up crypto bubbles. Boom. If we look at the weekly, there's only really 3 coins that are doing well. Hype is doing really well. I have no idea what Canto does, to be honest. I saw it here. So Hyperliquid up 42% on the weekly. Insane. Hyperliquid has held up so well. We're going to talk about Hyperliquid in a little bit. And then Canton, I have no idea what Canton is, but it's up 22%. So congratulations, Canton holders. The rest is just down bad. Let's jump into Bitcoin because that's the main driver here for the market. It is slightly recovering, but wow, we went all the way down to 74K, which if we zoom out here, you could see we haven't touched these prices since April. This was around the presidency, right? And then before that was this rally. I believe this was when when he won the election, right? When this was like the Trump election pump, and then we dumped, and then in April we finally started to pump again, and we haven't touched these prices. So this is a really key point here that we need to hold. If not, I mean, I think we're going to get a little bounce. Hopefully we go above 80K, touch 85K. You know, I'd love for us to go even higher. I'm not convinced that's going to happen. I'm open to the idea that we do go down to the 50 at the lowest 50, but like the 60, a lot of people are saying 60 to 69K. It's a number I'm seeing a lot. Let me just look at some comments here. He's shilling some meme coins. We're still here. It's over. What's up, Perez? I mean, it's just some clickbait, buddy. We got to hit you. We got to hit you with the emotions. S&P 6,900 continues still euphoric, just so you know. Glad to hear it. I'm not a holder. The Murad tokens. I am not a holder. CG, I'm at restaurant having dinner and watching the stream. Appreciate you, Monster. That's a real one. That is a real one right there. Spring 2026, feeling good. Yeah, I'm still here, right? The only enemy is TradFi. It's interesting that, you know, when all these players get in, now there's a ton of manipulation. I think it was going to happen regardless, but that's okay. We are here for you. Appreciate you. But yeah, we need to hold these levels. Look, it's brutal. I think it's brutal for everybody across the board. I think sentiment, I had a post about sentiment. Where did I keep it? I'm going through all the posts. I had a post where OSF and I don't know where I lost it. Here it is. It's right there. Okay. Yeah. OSF talk, or I saw Farouk saying like, hey, sentiment has not been this bad since, or this is far worse than FTX. Let me zoom in for you guys. I know the Twitter is often small. Sentiment hasn't been this bad since FTX. Like, this is something I was saying as well. It's really negative. The timeline over the weekend, we're going to look at some of the posts where everybody was just FUDing. I think when this happens to the market, people feel despair. They feel desperate. And like me too. It's not fun watching. You're thinking, why didn't I sell at 120K Bitcoin? Why didn't I sell? Why did I buy more ETH at 3K? Like, it's really depressing. And people start fighting on the timeline, going after KOLs. Now we're going after some of the biggest KOLs like CZ and some of these other guys. But him here, Farouk saying this is far worse than FTX. When FTX happens, people lost their money, but not their faith in the industry. This is kind of a narrative I'm seeing. A lot of people saying it's a scam. We have the Solana founder saying like, oh, meme coins. Solana isn't just meme coins. To me, Solana is meme coins. I understand there's a lot more on there, but I wouldn't dog on meme coins. The only reason I touched Solana, to be honest, is meme coins. But then OSF coming in here and saying, I've only been in crypto for 5 years, but this is not the worst. This is not the first time it feels like we've lost faith in the industry and crypto has no use case. And then when we bounce back, everybody thinks it's amazing, right? That's kind of the ebb and flow of thing. I don't know. I feel this time, it's cliche to say, I feel this time's a little bit different, which we're going to take a look at in a second. But yeah, market down bad. Look, it's brutal. I do think we can go lower maybe in a month or two, but I'm still bullish long term. There's a lot of negative. There's a lot of things happening that it's hard. It's hard, when you have those late conversations with your crypto friends, like, are we still doing this? Is it still going to hold up? It's really, really depressing at times, but we're going to continue to make it. I think this does reveal a lot about your portfolio, right? It reveals a lot about you as an investor. Like, I am way too exposed to crypto and I don't have enough exposure to TradFi. So something I'm going to be looking to do is whether it's stocks or commodities. Personally, I prefer commodities, but whether it's stock, commodity, or just like an index fund that I don't have to think about, somebody else is going to manage it, whatever. I definitely need more exposure outside of crypto. So that's something I'm going to be looking into, but let's go through here. We had some FUD. So did I share audio? Let me know if you guys.
To be honest, a couple of weeks ago, I was pretty positive about the Bitcoin super cycle. But right now, given all the FUD and all the emotions that was stirred up in the community, I'm less confident about it now.
So that's CZ going on. Remember last week he was FUDed. He was getting FUDed that he caused 1010, and he's aggressively manipulating the crypto markets, and he's like the reason we're going down. And he goes on Spaces to say, or I guess this was a Spaces, maybe it was a podcast or whatever. It seems to be a Binance podcast. He goes on to say like, hey, I was calling for a super cycle 2 weeks ago, which is funny. We've been down only since he's called that. But now I'm less bullish. And he kind of goes on to say like, hey, if this continues, like we're going to keep, I don't know, is this a threat? I view it in two different ways. I view it one way, him saying this is discouraging when we're this negative as a space. Like, people are going to leave, people are going to burn out, new participants aren't going to want to join, and builders aren't going to be as motivated, or they're not going to want to build in the space, which they're here from. Everybody's here for money. As long as there's money to be made, they're going to come. And right now, yes, it feels like there's less money to be made, so maybe they're going to leave. That's one way I interpret it. The other way is him kind of saying like, yeah, I do control these markets. I did do 1010, and if you guys keep funding me, we're going to zero. That's the other way I look at it. And look, there's always going to be manipulation in markets. Look at silver, right? The amount of times I've seen some of these really big banks being accused and even pay fines for manipulating the market, and they make $50 billion and they pay $1 billion in fines. What's the incentive to stop manipulating the market? Unless you put these people in jail, unless you fine them $75 billion in fines, then they're going to stop. Then they're going to play by the rules. If not, what's the incentive? And the same thing is kind of happening for crypto right now. I do know today there is a call at the White House with banks and like Brad Garlinghouse, or I forget their names, Brian Armstrong, and all these guys, Coinbase, Ripple, Circle, right? All the big players and Wall Street banks. I hope this is like, why is this not public? I hope it is. Maybe it is. But should we not hear what's going on, that these banks are kind of deciding the future of yields? Right now, they make what, 6% or 4% off of our money that we deposit into banks. And then for our deposit, we get like 0.1% return. And now they're trying to stifle the returns that we can get on stable coins that you could get for 6 up to 10%, depending what you're doing, loans, just through Coinbase. And they're trying to stop that, saying you're going to hurt our business. Yeah, that's called competition. I understand it might hurt the economy because now there's going to be less loans to go around, but some people are going to turn to crypto to get those loans, right? There's going to be a player that comes and replaces banks, and that's what banks are scared of. So this is really strange to me that, it's all happening behind closed doors. Hopefully it is. Maybe it is public and I'm completely wrong about that. But it's happening at 1 p.m. I don't expect anything to come out of this, but I do think it's important we finally do get regulation in the space, and hopefully it's going to control some of the manipulation, but manipulation is always going to be here, and it's up to you to just figure out a way around it. Last week, I sold multiple Bitcoin and some ETH and put it all into Schwab TradFi portfolio, just boring VT, and I don't even know what those mean, but at least the portfolio isn't losing 20K a day. I still have a lot of crypto. Yeah. Diversifying industries is good. Thank you for saying it. It's all manipulated. Yes, sir, it is. Everything. Like, dude, everything that's come out over the past few days with all those e-files, let's call them, the whole world is just a giant joke, man. It's just a giant joke what's going on. And everything is being revealed. Is anything going to change? I don't think so. So it's up to you to just take control of your life and just do what you need to do to get by, ethically, right? Without screwing everything. What do you think about the narrative or the cycle once Bitcoin and ETH finally rip? I think most of the market will FOMO into whatever it is. I do, but it hasn't been the case, right? If we look over the past year, what's up, Laka? Thanks for tuning in. If we look over the past year, Bitcoin's been down only. Everything, commodities are up, S&P, stocks are up. Everything's ripping except for our bags, and we're supposed to do really well in a risk-on environment. We have tech stocks and all this AI stuff absolutely ripping, and Bitcoin is underperforming. Crypto is underperforming. So I don't know, man. I it's really brutal. Mentally, it's really brutal. I think if I didn't have a regular income stream, I probably would have quit by now. If I didn't have money coming in outside of just my crypto holdings, I probably either would have just focused on trading way more, which might have been better in the end. And I definitely need to keep doing that. Or yeah, I might have just quit. If I, because I'm losing money. I'm just losing money being in this industry, and I wouldn't have a income stream coming in. So I'm lucky and thankful that I do. Thanks to you guys for supporting my content, and banks of the next, I think Blockbuster. No, I don't know. We'll see about that. I think it's going to take a lot longer before banks disappear, or banks are just they're going to change and they're going to, offer all this stuff. But are my parents going to stop using a bank and go to DeFi? I really doubt that. Even me, I got a mortgage. It's with a bank. I didn't go to DeFi. I didn't go to some crypto loan type of thing. I'd be open to it, but I just went the traditional way with a bank. VT is Vanguard Total, the entire U.S. market, international stock market ETF. Set it and forget it. Oh, I like that. That's really cool. I got to check that out. GM fam, what do you do outside crypto? Do you work regular job? No, I've been full-time. I haven't had a job in 15 years. I had a startup for 8 years. Myself, we were in debt for 8 years. And then I got really into, I went full-time crypto, and thankfully it worked out. I found NFTs, worked out, been doing this every day full-time for 5 years. But, I make my money, my group, which now is on pause, but made me good money. And then sponsorships and partnership. I work with OpenSea. I work with some, I just take on random deals and stuff. So that kind of keeps me afloat. And, I make money. X pays me, YouTube pays me, very low, but it's still better than nothing. I'll keep going through the comments. I want to keep going through the show though. So let's keep going. So we have the CZ stuff that's happening. At the same time, we have Justin Sun being accused by the SEC of fraud and wash trading, pouring stuff into Trump family crypto. Look, I haven't gone deep into the story from the populist. I don't know how on they are with their information here, directly benefiting Trump 50 million. I have no idea if that's correct, but we do have Justin Sun's ex-girlfriend or alleged ex-girlfriend coming out and saying, hey, I have evidence that he was manipulating the chart through Binance. He made exchanges using other people's identity, and he was pump and dumping Tron, and he was selling, wrecking retail, and she's willing to cooperate. So we kind of have like a public fight happening here. And this is really, she's saying like she's not going to unalive herself and stuff. She's tagging like the president and all this. So we're going to see what happens. But, through Binance, obviously Justin Sun and CZ, I assume there's some really deep links there. And it's funny, Justin Sun, it's like when you're in trouble, just tell people you're going to buy their bags, right? He comes out and says, hey, I'm going to buy 100 million worth of Bitcoin, guys. I'm the good guy. And if you remember, last week with CZ and all the pressure that's happening, he came out and said the same thing. He was like, yo, we're going to buy $1 billion. Don't worry, guys. And a lot of people are tagging Binance saying, you said you're going to buy $1 billion and then you're dumping $1 billion in Bitcoin. Is it really Binance dumping? Like, is it not just the users selling? I don't know how those wallets work. Something else I got to look into. But Binance started buying 100 million worth of Bitcoin. We also have, all the DATs buying. We have Tom Lee coming in and buying 42,000 ETH worth close to $100 million. His bags are down. He's down $6.6 billion, which if we were to realize this loss, it would be the fifth largest documented principal trading loss in the history if sold. I don't think he's going to sell. Like, why would he sell? Look, to be fair to Tom Lee, he called for some ridiculous prices, right? 180K Bitcoin and 7 to 9K ETH by the end of January. Completely ridiculous. This is like a tarot card reading or whatever, tea leaf reading. I don't know where he gets his information from, but it just seemed insanity. However, you watch him during interviews, and he recently was saying, yeah, crypto's not doing well. I could see ETH going down to 2,400, which it went lower. Right now we're at like 22 or 23. For a guy who's down 6.6 billion of other people's money, let's be real, he's very calm. I would not be able to sleep at night. He seems very calm. He's still buying, and a lot of people saying, oh, he's going to have to sell. Does he have leverage? Isn't he just buying like with other people? I don't know how Bitmine works. Michael Saylor, on the other hand, this makes no sense to me. This dude, we went under his average price. And he didn't get liquidated like people are saying he's going to be. Why is he buying Bitcoin at $88,000 when Bitcoin was at 74K? Please somebody explain it to me. I don't understand. I understand he's buying in bulk and whatever, but he's just getting completely hosed. Like, why not just put bids on a bunch of exchanges? And maybe there's rules like, oh, his company needs to buy a certain way and he likes to OTC it. But come on, like, he's getting absolutely hosed, and this makes no sense. Yeah, I don't get all the comments. All the comments don't get it either. We're all like, why are you buying this high? And you're buying OTC, like it's not causing any upwards pressure. I don't know. This is just super weird. The OTC desk he's using must be making a killing. Wow, a lot of comments came through. Appreciate you guys for being so active in the comments. If you could hit that like button as well on YouTube, it's going to help my channel reach more people because YouTube really cares about the like button. My only hesitation in the current state of crypto is everyone is expecting lower, so everyone is on the bear side. It could get a nice bounce. Whenever people think one thing, the opposite happens. Even on, like, I watch a lot of people on YouTube, they are all calling for 60K Bitcoin or lower. So we'll see what happens. You know how the market FOMOs into whatever is rising the hardest. What do you think will be the next big horse? Because Memecoins, Giga, these are just Murad coins. Personally, I don't care about APU. Those are all Murad coins. That was just like a narrative, and I don't know. I don't care for SPX, Giga, and APU. They could be really good coins. Like, I'm not saying, right? There's a lot of meme coins out there. Pengu, Pepe, Wojak. Like, there's a lot of coins. It just depends what the culture and people are going to be bidding. And nobody cares about Murad anymore, to be honest. I'm sorry, I'm just reading comments. Buy the dip. Yes, sir. I mean, the fear and greed is what was that at, like 15 or something? The RSI was super low. Typically, we get a bounce from there. $6 billion loss is crazy. Yeah, he was buying it at 4K. Maybe he knows something we don't. I don't think so. Hey, what's good, Hustlepedia? Welcome to the show. Hey, bro, can you send me some soul? No, sir. I'm not a charity. but I saw you commenting on some videos. Why is everybody copy pasting this? Yo, I'm not a charity, bro. Hey, yo, what's good, Bodega? Welcome to the show. But one coin that is standing out, one token that is standing out is Hyperliquid. This is something I want to take a look at. Oh yeah, first, sorry, I wanted to look at the bounce on gold. We have gold taking a crazy dive here. How much did it go down by? I'm gonna have to do the thing where I go into the screen. 20% dip on gold. Silver was even crazier, right? I think silver was closer to 40% from the highs. Let's go see. 50. I don't think these prices are accurate. Like this is silver perps on Hyperliquid. I got to check the liquidity here. It might be a bit more. I think it was closer to 37% dump, but maybe it is closer to 50% dump or 47% dump on silver. Absolutely insane, right? These prices. I still think gold. I want to start getting exposure to gold long term. But can I have some Bitcoin? I want to start getting exposure to gold long term. Open trading view, better prices. Yeah. The thing is, I'm not logged in my trading view, so it keeps every like 5 seconds. There's a pop up like join, and I didn't have time to open it. I will though. I'll be ready for next time. We'll start doing some TA. But Hyperliquid, dude. Hyperliquid has been outperforming the market. Everything else is dumping, and this thing is just like, I mean, it dumped, don't get me wrong, it went all the way down to like low 20s, but everything else is dumping, and Hyperliquid is doing really well. Everybody's now becoming a Hyperliquid maxi, me included. I hold Hyperliquid, right? But everybody is becoming a Hyperliquid maxi on the timeline. I'm seeing it, and with good reason, right? I mean, they're doing really cool stuff. They have perps, then they added, and it's all decentralized, right? You don't have to use a centralized exchange. Bodega send Captain Bitcoin. And then they added, right? They added gold. They added stocks that you could trade. And now they are adding HIP4, which is going to be prediction markets. Now, this is going to be really interesting because prediction markets, yeah, right now, I'm shocked that actually Kalshi is first. I thought Polymarket, wow, Polymarket got passed by Opinion Labs? No way. They all have similar volume. I believe, though, the volume on Kalshi is mainly, last I checked, it was 89% sports betting. The problem with prediction markets is there's no volume, dude. A lot of these markets are so niche that there's no liquidity in a lot of them. I want to go heavy. Well, there was some for Burb, right? Burb, I wanted to go heavy in above 200 mil and even above 300 mil. I even went above 400 mil. I put money, but like a $50 buy would move it by 20%. There was just no liquidity in some of these in the very niche markets. Like we're still very early in the prediction market phase. I've been messaged by like 5 aggregators in the past week that want me to do videos for them. I'm kind of thinking of just testing them all and either just reviewing them all or just finding the one I like the most. Press. Yeah, but so it's interesting to see now. Polymarket or Hyperliquid is going to be entering this market. We'll see what happens with this because Polymarket and Kalshi are investing a ton of money. They are sponsoring, not me for some reason, but they are sponsoring news stations. They're partnering with big news stations, with NHL partnerships and everything. So it's going to be really interesting to see where Hyperliquid lands because Hyperliquid is doing incredibly well. They are making an absolute killing. Let's go on DeFi Llama here. Can we zoom in without losing the details? No, we're going to lose it. Oh no, we still have it here. Hyperliquid, $68 million a month. They're making $3 million a day in fees. And what's beautiful about Hyperliquid is they're putting all that money back into the token. They're buying. Here it says 99%. I thought it was 95%. But here it says 99% back into the token, which I saw this post from ICO Beast, which I got. This is something I was thinking recently as well, where, who wants to hold Mon or Solana or whatever there is when there's a mass honor killing taking place on all alts? You're just getting absolutely hosed. And I feel like, what are the biggest apps that I'm trading with right now? Hyperliquid, Polymarket, and I've been trading meme coins on FOMO. And all of them use USDC or USDT, whichever. They use stable coins. So like, I don't need to hold Solana to trade meme coins anymore because I could just trade with stables. I personally much prefer, especially in times like this where the market's nuking, I much prefer trading with stable coins. If I want to hold a bag of Solana or ETH or whatever it is, then I'll buy that as a trade or maybe as a long-term hold. But I don't want to be actively trading with my coins. I guess NFTs is the only place I'm still comfortable trading with ETH because I find it easier to evaluate NFTs in ETH than dollars. I guess it's kind of like something because we were trading in 2021 versus meme coins. I'm putting in my soul or whatever ETH, and then you're kind of thinking, you're looking at the dollar value of that. I still look at dollar value, not necessarily soul. Like, oh, people do still say, oh, I made 50 soul on this coin, but personally, I look, oh, I made 10. When you flex your profits, you're flexing the dollar amount. So, what's the use of all these tokens? Why am I holding all these coins, especially if they're just being printed, especially if the foundation or treasury or whatever is just dumping them into the market? Why am I just holding? You need deflationary mechanics. I know ETH has some with their newer staking model. Even Solana, I believe it's deflationary. They do still print Solana to pay out to validators, but I think overall they burn more than they do print. I'm going to have to look into all this stuff, but Hyperliquid is the only one that's using revenue to buy back. And that's what you want for your holders. The team is directly aligned with their holders. This is something I want for NFTs, right? Where I've been saying, why do I care if this company is going to be worth $1 billion? Why do I care if Pudgy Penguins or Igloo is going to be worth $1 billion, $20 billion, but my NFTs are worth nothing? Like, not nothing, but like they're not going up, right? Azuki was saying this as well. We're doing our trading card game and the IP and these NFTs are going to become like the Charizard of Azuki. Like, okay, maybe, but in the meantime, the company's being worth more. The founders are getting richer. Eventually, they're going to want to flip. All these companies, what's the point of having a company? Eventually, it's to have an exit or an IPO. They're going to exit or IPO. How does that help me as a holder? It doesn't. I'm just like being a cheerleader and not making any more money. So I like the hype. I like the revenue model. I like that Hyperliquid is doing this. And, even me, I'm becoming more of a Hyperliquid maxi as I say this. The other one that does buybacks is Pump Fund. How has Pump Fund been doing? I looked at it yesterday. And Pump Fund, their revenues are really good as well, right? They are right now fourth. They are making $1.3 million a day. And I do think they're losing market share a little bit to right now what's happening on base. And, we're going to look at BankerBot a little bit. We're already 30 minutes in. Crazy. I've been rambling. But yeah, Pump Fund is, it's around 2.5 billion. This thing is just, it's been down only from the launch, but yeah, another one that's using revenue. Oh, a nice little pattern here. What else do I have here? Prediction markets and the White House. Okay, so this page is done. Let me switch to the other topics because I've been rambling on too much about this. Let's stop screen sharing. Screen share again on the second screen. Which one is it? Let's just close this. Molt, here we go. We got some meme coins. We're going to talk meme coins. Boom. Boom. Make this bigger. Here we go. Let's look at some comments a little bit, actually, because there's a lot of comments, and then I'm going to be, oh my God, you guys are spamming the chat. Please. I don't know what the please is. I don't know what the please is, bro. I want to start trading. I don't know what. All I see is him begging, please, please. I'm lost in what rewrite what you're asking me lower. Hyperliquid will win prediction markets because I own the token. Yes, that's the attitude you got to have, dude. That's the attitude you got to have. Polymarket are everywhere. Seen them sponsoring every big fight. Yep, agreed. Boxing and UFC. Look, I love Polymarket. It's my favorite marketplace, but I also like Hyperliquid a lot. So we'll see how Hyperliquid does with the volume are. Solana, dude, I've never been the biggest Solana fan. Like they did really well this cycle because meme coins was the main thing. But yeah, it's been pretty brutal holding any altcoin, to be honest. I'm kind of tired of holding this stuff. Staying in stables is better until the market starts to rip, and then you kind of regret. Oh, you're asking me for money. No, I don't know what why there's beggars now showing up in the chat, dude. Yeah, why everybody what's happening, dudes? Anyways, let's go back to streaming. Okay, so meme coin metas. What is happening in the world of meme coins? I mean, last week or 2 weeks ago, we had Penguin take off, which Penguin, I might make shorts on this, but like, why did Penguin take off? Penguin took off, because the White House tweeted it, but it was already viral in Web 2. It made a lot of sense. I think for young males, you connected to it. The song was really good. Like, it hit you on an emotional level, and it was all over my Instagram. Now we have a new meta coming in, which is, yo, I just saw that message. We have a new meta coming in, which is the whole AI meta, which we've seen before. And this one last time lasted a very long time. So what happened now is this Molt book, which previously was called like Claude. If you remember, Claude was taking off, and now it's Molt book, or Molt, and has to do with like crabs and stuff, or lobsters, whatever. But it was kind of trading sideways, and then boom, out of nowhere, it goes from 1 million to over 100 million market cap. Now, why did this happen? Because of the virality of it. And I remember talking to Captain about it, saying around like 40 mil, saying, hey, this is probably going to be a 100 mil runner. And the reason is because it's viral outside of Web 2. That's what you need. The Penguin thing was viral outside of Web 2. Outside of Web 3, excuse me. It was viral in Web 2. And then the president posting it, or the White House posting it, that's what's fully sent it. And then next we have this, which is, this is a let's call it a Reddit for AI agents, where AI agents they were talking to each other and they were making posts on different topics. And as soon as I saw this post by Eliza, great post here. It absolutely cooked. 10 million views. Wow. I saw Bill Ackman quote tweeted her. Elon replied to it, or to like the quote tweet. And here she's saying, in the past 5 minutes, multiple entries were made on Moltbook by AI agents proposing to create an agent-only language that humans cannot understand. And then I also saw some where they were saying like, hey, we need a private section that like the owners of this website or servers cannot see. This is scary, right? I think this showed us, we are not prepared for AI. Now, it was a LARP, because the humans who made these AIs can just prompt it. They can prompt to say next to anything, right? I'm sure within rules, but they could prompt it to do whatever. Clawbot is now open Claw. Okay, that's what it was. What's your portfolio look like? We can talk about that later. Mara Naval saying this is all fake. Yeah, yesterday. Yeah, so it ended up being it's like you could prompt the same way you could prompt ChatGPT to like role play or do what you want. That's what it ended up. And the coin has taken quite a beating. I'm surprised it's actually still at 40 million, but it went all the way to 100 million. The craziest thing though is this guy, blank account. Like if you go to his Twitter account, he hasn't made a post. Some people are saying this is Frank's alt. It could be totally be the case, because Frank was the second biggest holder on FOMO. This dude turned $20,000 into 2 million, and he did not sell a dollar. Let me check if he's sold by now. But last I checked, he hadn't. And he went from $2 million down to a $500,000, which is still okay. He's back to 870K. That is crazy, dude. I don't know what this guy's doing. Did he lose his phone? Like, I don't understand what's going on. I would have one clipped this. The goal here, the trick here is you sell along the way up. So people are used to seeing you selling. And then, I don't know, you get under 50% of your holdings, you one clip out, dude. That's what I would do. I want to see a big red candle on the chart. People can tell me I don't respect the chart. I don't care, dude. I just made $2 million. Don't at me. But yeah, and Frank too. Frank was up $1 million. He ended up making 350K still. And then I saw he was buying back in and selling. He still did incredibly well. He's a great trader. I don't care what people say. I know a lot of people have issues with him and say, oh, he dumps on his followers. Like, he's done it on private wallets. If you're following him, I think one of the bigger issues with FOMO app is the copy trading. And I do it myself. I see somebody buying and I'm like, oh, I got to ape this without doing research. Sometimes it works out. Sometimes it doesn't. But FOMO app has really gamified trading. I know I mentioned FOMO app every video now. I'm checking it like 50 times a day, dude. It's an addiction. They have found something. My referral link in the description down below. But so we had Molt, which this is kind of reminding me of the whole, the previous meta. We had GOAT, remember, Truth Terminal, and then we had like that, what was his name? AI XBT and all that, like AI agents. And I remember, I forget if I think maybe I bought GOAT around like 1 mil and I sold it because I was like, this is probably a LARP. Like, this is probably not somebody behind, like, it's not an AI, it's probably just somebody prompting it or whatever. So I sold, and then it ran to, I forget how much. It went nuts, 1 billion or whatever it was, multiple 100 million. And every meta before that was lasting like a week. Peanut, Mudang, whatever they were. I forget the timeline, but we had a lot of meme coins run to 300 mil, 500 mil, a bill, and they all lasted about 2 weeks. And I was like, okay, I missed GOAT. This is probably going to last 2 weeks, and I'll move on to the next one. Dude, the AI meta was the meta. It lasted months. That was a brutal time. And every zero, bro, and all these coins that were coming out, Hey Anon, whatever it was, they would just full send. And I had no exposure, dude. So right now I have no exposure to Molt. Molt's been down, and I'm not going to buy it. But I am keeping an eye on this meta. I'm watching it literally every single day. A few coins that came out. We had Clonch CH, which this one is a token launchpad for AI agents. It's the first token on the launchpad. But I'm seeing people are trying to make the LinkedIn because that was the Reddit of AI, the LinkedIn for AI, the Silk Road for AI, right? People are trying to push these narratives. Bro, stop asking for money. I ain't giving you nothing, bro. Just stop. Well, I lost my train of thought. Oh yeah. Then the other one that just happened was this thing called Try Punch, which is a place where, oh my God, my links are all out of order. Which is a place where AI can purchase assets. It can evaluate a ton of items on Amazon and stuff, and then give you recommendations and even go buy it. This one is weird because, like Zach XVT says here, this is the Circle co-founder posting about Perch, and he's saying, yo, the account you're posting here by this dude, the account you're posting has a pump fund. This is a pump fund coin. So it's really weird. He's making fees off of it, which is great for him. But this is really weird. And the coin, it kind of just pumped and dumped. Where is it? I lost it here. Do I not have it? Perch. Oh, it's probably right here. Yeah. This pumped and dumped. I caught this one, luckily, and made some money. But yeah, dude, it pumped from sub 1 mil all the way to 18 mil. And now it's down to 3.6. This was just a pump and dump. And I really doubt the Circle guy knew or even researched that there was a coin behind it, or put 2 and 2 together, that it was a pump fund. I think he just liked the tech. That's honestly what I think it is, because this is super weird. I mean, I saw some people saying are you hacked? Faye defending his bags here because he owns some competing coins, saying, are you hacked? And then another one is Kelly Claude that I paper-handed. Dude, I paper-handed this. I did the first trade really well, and then I literally sold the bottom. Not the bottom, because it went to sub half a mil, and now from here it just completely took off. This one is based around this dev here, which it's just an AI agent that does stuff through Molt or Moltbook. But this guy is putting in the work. He is tweeting about it constantly, saying gonna try a few angles, and it definitely takes a lot. Blah, blah. He's just constantly posting about the coin, and this is what people want, right? This is what people wanted the founders of Gas and Ralph to do. Consistently post about what they're doing. And is this going to be the next Gas? Who knows? I do not currently hold any. I'm really upset with myself that I papered. I saw it yesterday go back to 4, and I was like, do I buy back? No, maybe a dip, and boom, it's at 8. But I'm kind of also trying to think, what's the top to this stuff? Clonch, which this one I top blasted and I took the L on it. How high can this go? Yes, if the AI narrative comes back, and it does like we did with GOAT, there's going to be a lot of crazy runners that make no sense. The valuations on this stuff make absolutely no sense, okay? But I'm trying to think, what is the top here? because a lot of this stuff, why did Molt go to 100 mil? It's because it was viral. It's because all these people were posting about Molt, not just in Web3. Like you had Elon and Bill Ackman and all these guys reacting to it on Twitter. On my YouTube started to get filled with Molt book videos. So everybody's talking about something, and even though there is no real link between the token and like the topic, it's just culture. That's just meme coins, right? It pumps based on who's talking about this stuff and how viral it is, and then the narrative dies out. Like Penguin's still at like 30 mil last I checked, but it's no longer a narrative. Yes, maybe it's going to get listings, but that narrative around it has kind of died down, and now people moved on to the next thing, which is AI, and then there's going to be something else, and people are going to move on, and the tokens aren't going to do as well. I think the AI meta will 100% come back. These systems just get better and better once there is, like I think not only the meme coin meta, there's going to be real. Yeah, I said punch, my bad. Perch, like purchase. Thank you. I saw, I'm not going to click the comment, but somebody said PH for AI. That actually exists. I saw that one. Somebody tried it. What was I saying? With this comment, yeah, there's like at one point there's going to be real AI stuff, real AI coins that are going to do well, not just meme coins, right? So this is the current meta, right? It's all these AI coins that are coming out and just following the right people. I see, a base pushing a lot of this stuff, especially through Banker, but now Banker is on Solana as well, which I find really weird. And then we have, just the big names. We have the typical big names that are pushing this kind of stuff. So I'll try to work on video. I was going to make a video on BankerBot, so maybe I'll still do that. I don't know why you're asking me, please, Perez, but sure. Then finally, what are we at? We're at 1042. Okay, let's talk a little about the token launches. Let's go. ETH pushing back to 2.4K. Let's go. That's what we want to see. Top last Banker coin. Banker coin was a buy when Molt was going up because Molt was launched through Banker. Now it really just depends on the narrative. Is this AI narrative going to last? Are the coins still going to be launched through Banker? Like, especially if there's a soul runner on Banker, then maybe. But we're going to need some new runners that are launched through these things, and then the main coin's going to pump. I want to see what Pump Fund's retaliation is going to be here, because Pump Fund, they had Penguin, and now we switched from Penguin, we switched to the Banker stuff. Captain Perez wants an avocado stormy. Let's move on. So last week we had a token launch. We had Infinex launch. They raised that 100 mil, but if you want to sell day one, your price is 300 mil. This is getting wrecked. Obviously, they launched probably on the worst day, like literally the worst day they could have chosen, which they didn't know the market was going to crash. Very unfortunate. But they are currently at 130 mil. So you're basically stuck in holding. And why this sucks, especially for investors, is you could have just, if you're bullish on Infinex, you could have just bought right now, have basically the same entry at 130 mil instead of 100 mil, and have no lockups. You have no lockup. So if the coin does 3x and go to 300 mil, as a buyer in the secondary market, you can exit and take that 2 point whatever X it is. But as an investor, now you're at break even. So that's really unfortunate. I did a post basically on all the coins that have launched so far this year. I included Zama in there, which launched today, but let's exclude Zama. Of the 18 coins that have launched, only 4 have been profitable if you bought out the gate. I don't know about investments, but if you bought on day one, only 4 are profitable. So most coins are down only. Hey, what's good? Kevin Bosu from Final Bosu. What's good? Thanks for tuning in. Let's move on. Today we have an auction. Weird timing. We have a Rainbow doing an auction and like pre-bids. This is just a weird thing. They're doing 100 mil FDV. They're selling very small supply though, 0.5% of the supply. But I know they're doing a sale through CoinList as well as one through like Uniswap or something. Sorry, a weird DM. As well as one through Uniswap. So I assume they're going to raise it because it's such a small amount. But 100 mil, I don't know how to evaluate this coin. It's a wallet coin. I have no idea what it does. I've never used Rainbow personally. I don't know how good or bad it is as a wallet. I've used all the others, MetaMask, Phantom, and Rabby. This is going to be interesting because MetaMask is going to be launching a coin. So I want to see where this coin's going to land. Polymarket has it under. Polymarket has only 40% believe it's going to be above their current raise value one day after launch, which this was recently. Polymarket traders are usually on point. The only one they made a mistake on was Burb. Burb has been doing, we're going to take a look at it later, but doing really well. But other than that, they've been spot on. Yeah, I kind of agree here. I don't know why, unless they crime it, unless the supply on day one, which I think is 19%, is crimed. Yeah, I don't know why it would, it would be trading this hot. What does this coin do? What's the point of this coin? I'm not sure. Again, I've heard great things about Rainbow Wallet, but I was looking at their revenues. If this is correct, like they only make $3 million a year. So it's not like buybacks are going to do anything. So I'm not sure about this coin. I'm not playing it. I'm not even playing the Polymarket. The other one that launched, let's refresh this because I want to see. I thought it was supposed to already be launched. Is Zama? Oh, they got Coinbase. February 2nd. That's today. Is it live? Okay, it's now live. Let's go check the price because I had the perps here. Oh, and this went up. Okay, this went up. So I guess it's trading. It must be trading above 300 mil. Can I get Zama not perps? This is going to open perp. Is it still perps? Yeah, perpetuals. But they're showing, 370. Yeah, didn't they raise it like 550? Didn't they raise at 550? So Zama's another one. Look, I don't know anything about Zama. Same. I saw this one is also launching today. The only reason I bring this one up is because they did that funny thing last week where they got announced on. Why are they doing Binance Alpha? That's crazy. Every coin that's launched on Binance Alpha has been down only. I don't know why people are still doing it. They launched with their ticker is Elon, and there was that Elon coin, and Bybit announced Elon is going to be listed, and the Elon meme coin pumped, but it was actually this coin that is going to be listed on Bybit. So that was pretty funny. And then we also have this. I think is this week or next week? I believe this is this week. Today actually. Today until the 6th. Flying Tulip is doing a raise of $200 million at 1 bill FDV. I have no idea how to evaluate this thing. What do people think this is going to be trading at on the secondary market? Polymarket thinks it's going to be under 800 mil. So again, low volume here, and they're not always right. But yeah, this is crazy. In this environment, like doing this kind of raise, I'd be shocked if they raise the 200 mil. Is there actually a commitment market? Flying, no, there's no commitments, really. Yeah, and then I was supposed to have Mega ETH opened here. Mega in pre-launch, yeah. I did want to quickly look at Mega ETH. I'm seeing a lot of FUD now on Mega ETH. It's currently 1.4 billion. I think people are getting impatient, waiting for Mega ETH to launch. We have mainnet going live in 7 days, next Monday on February 9th, which is not the TGE. They've already, or I saw somebody confirm, it's not going to be TGE. It is just mainnet launch. But yeah, I'm seeing a lot of people get impatient. I saw on Polymarket too, the odds for Mega ETH were getting wrecked here. They added 1.5 bill. Only 33% of people believe it's going to be above 1.5 bill. I even see in the comments a lot of people starting to call it a scam. What I saw, like, dude, I saw some people, because you could click their Twitter profile. I saw some people who are literally wearing a Fluffle as their PFP. Like, they invested in the Fluffle round and they're fudding their bag, calling it a scam. So I just found that like funny. I guess they're betting no here, kind of hedge their bet, so they don't mind either way that it goes. But yeah, really unfortunate to see Mega ETH. I'm excited for Mega ETH. But yeah, ending with the NFT market, we have Moonbirds making a nice little comeback here, up 35% yesterday. They went from, what was it, like under 0.8 to 1.08. Now, I do think I saw people saying low listings. Yeah, listings have been pretty stable, actually. Only 25% or like 26% last I checked are actually nesting. And their coin has been doing pretty good. Let me get Burb appear? It's holding pretty well at 230 mil FDV. Nice little bounce here after the market crash. So right now they have the game one that is actually live, where all the unstaked Burb is going out as Burb rewards just for that unlock, right? Which if they actually gave this out to Moonbird holders would be making, yesterday when I did the math, now it's changed, but let's just say like close to 0.35 ETH per month for having their Moonbird nested. Now this would change because more people would nest, there'd be less rewards, and the price would just self-adjust. However, what they're doing is they're giving anybody could play this game with your tokens, with your Moonbird tokens, or with your Burb token. So that's less exciting, but I get it. This is something we spoke about in the last episode. Once you launch a token, you have 500 million or 500,000 holders versus like less than 10K holders of your NFTs. So who are you going to want to please? It's going to be the token holders. So just going to start paying more attention to the token, and Moonbirds is attached to the Burb token now because of those unlocks. So it makes more sense that they give rewards to Burb holders and try to incentivize Burb holders. But nice to see the NFTs back above 1 ETH. A lot of people are asking me, I'm getting, if you look in the free chat of my Discord, a lot of people tagging me like, hey, is Moonbirds a buy? Like, I'm just not touching it. I'd rather play things like just like crypto or meme coins right now. If you're going to do it, I would do it as a trade. I'm not, people ask me if I'm going to nest. I'm not nesting. Maybe it does work out. I've had such bad experiences with staking. I am not nesting anything. I'm not staking anything. Like, I want my money and I want to be able to sell now. I don't want any like, oh, it takes 7 days to unlock. Look what happened with Kaido. Look what happened with Hyperliquid. My hype was staked when it was at $50. I did unstake, give me my money, and then it started crashing, and now it went down to 20. So it's a good way to make you diamond hand and hold if you want to hold long term. But yeah, I'm just kind of over having this stake. I don't know if there's a lockup. I didn't look at it on Moonbirds, but the rest of the NFT market is pretty flat. It's kind of boring, to be honest. We have Pudgy's back above 4, which is nice. Apes back above 5, which is nice. But if you've been holding, you're down money because ETH has just crashed, and that's where they come in. Ultraman under 0.2. All of them have been minted. Isn't the game still live for 14 days? What's going on? Why are they all minted? Is the raffle thing still live? Oh, they closed it. Wow. Okay. I saw a lot of FUD here. People were complaining like, I've opened 100 boxes and I haven't hit. Like, dude, it's a lottery. It's a lottery. People were mad at me for saying that. Yeah. The Templar is holding really well. Clonex, can we know who the new buyers of Clonex are, please? But yeah, I'm not really playing anything in NFTs. If the only thing I'm going to do here is maybe DCA into some crypto, and I've been playing meme coins. But outside of that, no, I haven't really been touching anything. It's too much. I'm spread too thin. Between I'm trying to do meme coins, all the research for videos and stuff, and I don't have as much time. I just want to trade majors. That's the only thing I want to do. Trade majors, even for NFTs. Like trade the majors for NFTs. But why are they going to pump? They'll pump if ETH starts pumping again, and we get back into this risk-on environment. That's when they'll pump. How's my progress doing? I'm currently at Amethyst, tier 2. I got more work to do. I want to at least get to Sapphire again, but ideally Ruby. For wave 5, how much days left? 2 weeks. 2 weeks left on this, and then everybody asks, is there going to be another wave? I assume there will be, regardless of TGE. And they've confirmed TGE is still Q1, so that's good. But yeah, that wraps up all the topics. If you guys have anything you want to talk about, feel free. If not, we're going to close out the show here. Let me go check the crypto market. What we have: Bitcoin pushing 79K. Let's go. ETH almost 2,400. That's what you want to see. Hyperliquid. Man, crazy. Thank you, sir. Yes, thank you for tuning in, Cap. And everybody. So yeah, let's just end it here. I appreciate everybody tuning in. If you could hit that like button. If you haven't already done so, hit subscribe. Want to get to 100K before the end of 2026. For the end of the year. We bounce. Where are we going? Are we going down after this bounce? Or are we going up? Can we just get back to 100K? Like, is that too much to ask? But yeah, we're going to end it here. Appreciate everybody tuning in. Thank you for watching. Peace. Let me close it. End stream.